Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest I haven't had on in a while, but he is one of the greatest classic physique competitors in the world right now. Fourth place at the last Olympia. Before that, he was a very, very good 212 pro. Please welcome Alex Cambronero. How are you? Yeah, wepa. Yeah. So yeah, I wanna start by reminding everyone of your record, because not many people go to a new division and succeed. Most of them don't do that well. You're the only guy who I know who's gone from 212 to classic and has done very well. There have been some guys who've gone 212 to open, like William Bonac and Hadi Chupan, but I think you're the only one, because in 212, you had 3 pro wins. You were at the Olympia twice. You were 10th place and 7th place. So 2 top 10 showings at the Olympia. Then classic physique, you moved to that. You won your first pro show in Pittsburgh. Then you won the Arnold Classic the next year, and 4th place at this last classic physique Olympia. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
So let's start at the Olympia. First of all, were you happy with the package that you and Neil Hill brought to the Olympia?
Oh, definitely, yes. Well, a correction, I have 4 212.
I think I missed one. 4 wins. Please make a note of that. I think I'm missing one, man. What do I got for you? So I have Texas Pro, Toronto Pro, Puerto Rico Pro. What else did you win?
San Antonio.
San Antonio Pro. Yeah.
I have Dallas Pro too.
So that'd be fine. Oh, that would be the one in Texas Pro. Was that 2015?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I stand corrected. 4 pro wins, guys, as a 212 pro, and at the Olympia twice, 2 top 10 places.
Olympia. This is I went as a 212 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, I placed 11, 10, and 9. Okay. Right? No, 10.
If you were 7th one time.
10, 9, and 7. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Did better every time. All right. I'm gonna have to revise my contest history on you, Alex. But thanks for correcting me, because I'm gonna put that in the article for the magazine. I want to be right.
Yeah. I did 212 for 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Check the names behind me.
You beat. Who are some of the good guys that you beat in 212?
The guys that beat me, they're not competing anymore.
Yeah, but you've beaten some of the guys that
everybody else is competing. Yeah. Or out of the 212, because what happened at the 212 is most people get very loud for some competitive stuff like that, but the 212 is you have to have that kind of body so you can hang out with that division, because it might last for just 1 prep. Like I see many of the guys, because it's too hard to stay in 212, the weight, to make that weight. Yeah. As a 12 and look big. So I think that when they get big and trying to go to the weight limit, they sacrifice too much. You look, those guys are tired. They look soft, and not soft because they don't have the condition or anything. It's just because they hydrate themselves and make some crazy stuff so they can make the weight. Yeah. So that's the thing that happens in the 212. So all these guys are out. Not because they're not good, it's just they can, but there's not something that you can hang out in the 212 division, right? Yeah. For me, I was very tall for the 212, actually. Right. When I was standing to the guys, I was like at a head higher than them. Wow. And I'm looking like a center in a basketball game. Wow.
Must have been nice.
Always been, it feels good because I always been son of the shortest guy. Yeah. Right? Right. I was the second guy in the line in high school. They put by height. I was always the second one.
Yeah, me too. Wow. So yeah, let's go back to this Olympia. I mean, 4th place, and that was a very, very tough classic physique Olympia lineup between, the only 3 guys that beat you were, both of them have 2 Olympia titles now. Bumstead and Breon and Terrence. I think Terrence is probably going to get 1 or 2 Olympia titles before he retires for sure. But so yeah, the look that you brought, to me, you always look great. How would you compare the look at the Olympia to when you won the Arnold back in March, 6 months before that, or actually 9 months before that?
No, it wasn't the same look. I wasn't as full or sharp as I was in the Arnold. You know, we make some mistakes. Actually, they before the competition, because we never fill up myself in a crazy way. You know, we took some aspects and we thought that was a good option to fill out myself really hard. Yeah. And my body didn't accept that very well. And I started looking softer. And then my stomach started getting gassy. You know, so it was a bad idea because I have a good condition and everything. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we took that decision because we want to look as bigger than we did in the Arnold, but didn't work well. We learned from the mistakes, yes, but yeah, I didn't look as sharp but as full as the Arnold. Not at all. No.
Really? Wow. I thought you looked pretty damn good. I mean, geez, you still beat almost everybody, you know. But what were some of the food? Were there different foods that you tried that you and Neil tried for the Olympia that didn't agree with you?
That's a lot of food.
Oh, just too much food.
Yeah, that was a lot of food, which I was doing because I'm almost in the limit of the weight. So during the prep, you don't force yourself to eat that much. And then when it comes to the show, the mistake is to trying to fill up and eat more than you used to eat even in the entire prep. So my body took that really bad, which is kind of like you can, you know, figure it out that that's gonna happen. You know, myself, I started feeling bad, you know, and then the food started getting hard to swallow and stuff. So I knew at that point that, you know, because if I can show you the videos, how I look at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then how I look in the afternoon, like at noon, and then at 3, I was completely different person.
Wow.
You know, and then we took a video. I have all those videos, and I post one video at the hotel. Everybody was looking at that video. It was very, very popular, that video. Right. That video was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. And after that, my body was completely changed. You will see it, and you're like, okay, this is the day before. Yeah. You know, starting changing that, and then we couldn't catch. You know, and that kind of food make me sick. Here's the thing: when we were doing the show, I was feeling bad, right? Obviously, there's some negative guys and people in the industry who was trying to put me as a bad guy, as a villain. I remember after the posing, you know, because we did like night show, and then the night show, the comparison, all this stuff, right? Yeah. And then post down. I was already sick, but in the post down, if you met Brian or Chris, Simon, those guys are genuine, good people, really nice guys. So when we started posing, as an experience comparing and the post down, so you don't, sometimes you stay by yourself and you kind of like lose, right, on the stage. So what we mostly do is to get together with somebody that you have a good vibe, right? Right. So I was looking for Brian, right? So I get with Brian, and then Brian called for the pose, and Chris very nicely started throwing the poses, and then we get together. I fucking forgot my entire sickness. I forgot my stomach, and we're having a freaking good time, man. In some cases, even because that happens to Terrence, we were together, so we don't get alone, right? We don't left alone, so we trying to get together, and then we pose 2-3 poses, and then I saw the video, and Terrence comes, and we move, and left Terrence by himself. It wasn't on purpose. It was because we were following each other, so we don't get by himself, right? Yeah. So we did that. We pose, and then Terrence goes to the other side, and we pose. But probably one of my more enjoyable pose downs that I ever did. You know, genuinely, because sometimes it's like force. Mostly of the time it's sports.
Yeah.
But this one was very nice. You can tell that everybody was posing nicely, friendly. It was nice. Anyways, when that finished and we get in the places, bro, I got so sick. Okay, I had started throwing out, but it was like 5th place. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw it out. And then they say 4th place, presented by whatever. And I go behind the screen and start and throw it out.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
Oh, that's why people thought you were a villain. They thought you were mad that you got 4th place and you ran off stage?
I run just exactly when the thing goes out.
Oh, dude. Wow.
But like I said, the first thing that Brian, and instead of looking me and trying to criticize some bad and bad behavior, he was like, oh, something is wrong with Alex. That was his first reaction. Chris was very worried. He knew that something was wrong with me, right? So I went to the back. The expediter came out. You got to go right away. Like that. Give me just 1 second. One of the paramedics have like water with salt, sugar and salt or something already there. So when I was like, oh, drink that thing, and I drink that, and I come out, smiling and stuff like that. But I was very sick in the back. Yeah. Wow. Not that I spent the post out or anything. I just forgot that I was feeling sick, and I enjoyed the moment. And I'm probably posed too much. I couldn't stop or at least relax and going to the other side and not tying that much. But no, I was having fun. So I just kind of forget.
Wow. So now we know why you threw up right after you got 4th place, right?
They called 5th place. They're like 5th place, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, it was when they called Brian Jones, 5th place, Brian Jones.
And then I heard when they call in 4th place, and they named the person that is gonna give the thing. And I was just praying, oh, please give me a 3rd place.
So you have time to finish throwing
so
up.
I have a little more time to go now.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Wow. I mean, did you feel better by the time the show was over? Were you feeling okay?
Yeah, it was just food. And because the happen is that you throw it out, and after you throw it out, you feel good.
That's true.
You just have to take that out. Like it's hanging in your stomach. And then you burp, and you have those gases. But if you get away with it, you just throw it out. You start feeling better.
Yeah. While we're talking about the Olympia, you told me something before we started recording that you renovated your gym in it's Miami area, right? Your private training studio.
Yes, in South Miami.
What's it called? What's the name of your studio?
It's Pro Level Gym.
Pro Level Gym. And you told me you got the equipment from backstage at the Olympia. That's at your gym now.
Exactly.
So Big Rami used it. All those guys, Phil Heath, all those guys were using the same equipment that you have. I
have the videos. Yes. Cool, super nice. I have Brandon. I have Dexter, Derek Flowford. I have Sean, Clarita. Everybody was playing with those machines. And good thing was that they talk very well about the machines that we didn't even know that I was about. I mean, I didn't even know that I'm about to buy it. But like, wow, the thing feels so good. It was a back, a row machine that for back was very, very nice. Everybody was impressed. So because of everything that happened with COVID and all this stuff, they sent those machines from one side to another and starting going like that. So it wasn't a good business for them to take it back to the country and stuff like that. So good thing that I have good relationship with these people, and many people there, and this trust people. So it's hard to deal when you just give money to somebody and they expect something. But yeah, I mean, the IFBB and the people that are in the industry, at least inside that thing, it's a good umbrella. So we could do a good business, and we're happy.
Cool. What line of equipment is that? Was it all the same company?
And Torture, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it's the one that it's a South Korean company.
Oh, okay. Wow.
this Kim Jong-ho, remember Kim Jong-ho, 212 competitor.
Yeah,
I think he's part of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't ship that all the way from Korea to Orlando, did they?
They did send them to Vegas, actually.
Oh, Vegas. Yeah, because that's
And then from Vegas to Orlando, from that point, it was a bad business for them. Good for me.
So the last time we talked, I think you had just won the Arnold, and I think quarantine was just starting when we last spoke. So I want to know, how did COVID affect you and your wife, your businesses? I know you had a show, your Latin American Championships in Costa Rica. You had to postpone until this year, right?
Yes. My business wasn't affected as much because it's private, my gym. So I have a group of people that I train. It's always the same people.
Okay.
And and it's for most it's a family, and then I have two more person that are very private people. So we are in some way in a bubble, between us, and two of them we become very close friends. So we train together, and so I've been dealing with that, and they feel safe in my gym. There's nobody walking around them or anything, and for us, at least some of us as bodybuilders, we're trying to be away from crowds and group of people. So for me, it's not hard to be like Maggie and I, or my wife and I just hang out with my family and the people that I train. It's not really hard. So. I dealing very well with it, and for the show in Costa Rica, it was affected, yes, because the travel restrictions in the country, they have a different laws in that country. So remember that the competitors are from Latin America, and those countries have sanctions to fly some other parts of the Latin America. Yeah. So it wasn't good for us to do in the show. 2020 and even this year has been really hard because on top of that, you have to plan months ahead, because they're not that fast in organize things there. The permits and all the stuff is easier here. It might take 2 months what you're doing here than 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because it's unbelievable. You have to talk to so many people to get to one permit. Here you talk with one and you get the permit. Wow. So there's some things that you have to do outside the United States, and it's a challenge, for us to go on over there, and we have the mentality, the organization and the sponsors have the mentality that we do in business here. But when we're going over there, you have to deal with something different, and then you have to make the corporations, the federation, the sponsors, how this country works. Okay, here it is this way. Right. For even the time. I mean, work here is 8 is 8. And then we go into Latin America, 8 is 8:20.
8:20. What?
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, like a good Latino, we show up late.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not funny,
Believe me, I know, because I've been going to like Cuban and Puerto Rican birthday parties and things for years. If they say to be there at 2:00, don't show up at 2.
Up at 6.
Nobody's going to be there at 2. Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody. Yes, that's.
Oh man.
So it kind of works with with people in that. So when you're doing those here, you just do whatever you need to do. But over there, you have to pay for somebody that make those permits and all this stuff. It's just it's a lot. So it takes time. We wanted to do. We don't want it to get pressured, and then we come out with like, no, we have to cancel because we didn't receive this and that. The response of the government over there is like, okay, just do everything, and then in like September, something like that, we can tell you if we. 2 months before the show, you cannot tell me if it's gonna happen.
Right.
So it can be canceled until next year.
Wow. Oh, so you're not going to put it on this year?
No.
Okay. Yeah, this year, even we thought it was going to be 1 year that was messed up, 2020, but 2021 is basically 2020 all over again. It's the same crap still going on, but hopefully next year, 2022, everything's going to be normal. Everything, I hope, please. Talking about gyms, I know you used to drive up to Dragon's Lair in Boca Raton to train with Flex, what, a couple times every week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you must have been kind of sad or upset when he decided I'm moving everything to Las Vegas.
No, it was sad. Yes. I mean, because it was, I used to hang out with, I train by myself and but 2 friends, but they're not even competitors or anything. So that was my group, and hang out, train and be more into like bodybuilding. Right. And I have Neil, which Neil, not just my coach, Neil has become one of my best friends and my closest person in my life. So to see them leave, it was very sad. Yeah, I mean, it's very uncomfortable and stuff, because you know, and I see him every week and stuff like that. We have some months we didn't see him before because of the lockdown in England. Yeah. So you didn't see, and I think that is also something that affect my prep, which I used to train every body part with Neil and push me out to a different way. And then I train by myself, and I train with people that are not even competitors, so they don't know even how to push you. I push people. You know how that comes. Like if you have to push and not being the one is being pushed, your results are completely different. You know, especially
when you're prepping for the Olympia, like you were.
Exactly.
You don't have a lot of energy, enthusiasm.
No.
Yeah.
So I have Sundays. I used to train Sundays with Kamal and John De La Rosa.
Yep.
And they helped me very good with my legs. I think the legs was very good. If I just cool fill up my legs, would be look awesome. But well, it doesn't happen. But I think that what I build and whatever I gain my legs and that period of time training with them, it was very good. It's gonna show up the next month, next show, obviously. Yeah. You know, I couldn't show it as much as this one, but I know that I have those gains. I changed a lot, so it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. You know, you have a very, very symmetrical physique. Everything is very well balanced, proportion, great shape. I want to know, what do you still want to improve on? What areas do you still want to get better at this point?
I think that you always have to put some muscle fibers in your body, because when you trim your body for the competition, you're going to lose a lot. And depends how much do you have, there's going to look of how you present your body after that, right? Yeah. If you don't have enough, you probably is going to look wash out or something like that. So it's very important to just keep in that level. I think I can improve in every point, like, because if Simon could improve his physique after winning one, like, it shows an example that what you see is not exactly your 100%. We all know that, because if you tell me that I look very good on and this is very honest on my part, look very good at the Arnold. Yes, I did, but it wasn't really my best look, because I see pictures when I was competing at the 212, you know, and the 212, remember who I beat to the 212. You have to look very well. If you weigh 192 pounds to beat anybody in the 212.
True, very true.
And the Olympia, because you can beat in the Puerto Rico Pro and nobody show up, like people said. But you know what? Sean Clarita show up.
Yeah,
so that was fucked up.
And he's the Olympia champ right now. So
yeah. So I mean, it's really hard, because even in those shows, you can show up a champion like that, you know. By the way, and I think about Sean, talking about Sean, Sean winning, it wasn't a surprise for me. It wasn't a surprise.
Really?
He's a phenom, and something like Dre will happen someday. I mean, you know, I was like, okay, I see it coming.
But I mean, Kamal was defending champion, and he showed up looking very good. It's not like he was off, or washed out or watery. Kamal looked great. So that's why I didn't, as good as Sean looked, I didn't know if they were going to give him the title. So
Yeah,
I
I think that it was more how this fight comes involved. I mean, how Sean fight that day. I think even when they look very comparable, I think that Sean have some fight, and for some way, Kamal is starting fighting against Sean.
Yeah.
And that was it wasn't a mistake. I mean, it was a mistake of fighting. I mean, of technique of the fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't as like Kamal wasn't looking bad, because when I saw Kamal, honestly, I mean, I was like, who's gonna beat this guy?
Yeah.
Nobody. It have to be some crazy, because here's the thing too. Why Sean get to that competition, for me, that's a one moment in life. Look, that's a Jay Cutler when he looks his leg.
Yeah. 2009.
That's a Ronnie Coleman back double bicep moment. This is something that in the 212, even Flex Lewis in 7 years, he have 2 of those moments, not 7 moments of those.
Right.
And I remember because his back double bicep, remember the glutes and the back double bicep, that was his moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sean had one of that, and he comes out like that, motherfucker.
Yeah. He looked like an action figure. It was.
Yeah. So
it's
really hard to beat that, and even when you look as good as Kamal, they looked at. I think that was one moment in our sport that is a defining moment.
Yeah, because I'm curious, when you were 192 when you were competing as a 212. What's your weight cap as a classic at your height?
192.
Oh, so it's the same. You're exactly the same.
That's why we moved.
Yeah. But you think you look bigger and fuller as a 212, or only at certain shows?
At certain shows, because it was a point that I tricked myself, right? And the look that I was getting, it was a nice look, but I was losing. I was not gaining weight. Kind of the standard. The other option was create more weight and the off season and things like that. So we thought about it, and then Neil told me that I don't want you to change, because if you put more weight on yourself, your symmetry you're just gonna be another guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna change what you have. There's the symmetry and stuff like that, right? So we have classic. So, and he didn't tell me to switch to classic, but having this conversation and seeing my body, and I think it's a good decision to go into classic if I don't want to put myself into gain that way. Because at the end of the day, when look, Ron, when the weight limit, you put 10 pounds for example, right, every 2 inches. Right, 2 pounds every 2 inches. Let's see that. When you're at 105.5, you put it 2 pounds, right?
Yeah.
You move it to another class, 2 more pounds, 5'8" or 5'7". 6 feet, 6'1" or 6'2", 6'3". It's like it's not 2 pounds now.
Oh,
now the tall guy have like 20 pounds.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So the small in average and in percentage, it changed. It's not the same when you're small or when you're tall. So now this small guy, like everybody that is 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", 5'9", they struggle to make the weight. But everybody is 6 feet and up. They have a room like 10 pounds still.
Yeah.
And by the way, but we're still looking like classics.
Absolutely.
But tall guys with a gap of 10 pounds is still looking like a fucking heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, Bumstead's 6 foot, 230 pounds on stage. I think he found out he's taller. I think they measured him a half inch taller so he can be 242 or something next time if he wants to. So he can put on another, I think it's 240. He can put like another 10 pounds on if he wants to. So yeah.
You got it down. I'm saying as of the tall guys behind me.
Yeah,
You have so much room.
Yeah.
Steve Lawrence, for example, it's taking years. Like with that body, you still have to take because there's so much room
to grow,
that you have for it. So, and the 212 is the same thing. My room to improve that 212, it was big. I mean, for my frames, I have to pack different weights, you know,
Yeah.
and I probably have to put like 250 pounds and then lean down. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I think a lot of 212 guys are between 235 and 250 in the off season. A lot of them.
And they're smaller than me. I mean, shorter.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I find out myself to tall in that, and then you put weight on it, and then but the gap is big. I mean, even when I was at 100, and I think I placed 8 in that one, but the year before, I think it was like 206 pounds that I compete in one of the Olympias. But I remember in Texas, when I have the pictures, I was 203, something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, 203, and I have 10 more pounds to go up, you know? And it feels, and it looks actually almost impossible. Like if you look like that, 10 more pounds is, you know? Yeah. And my weight is, my physique.
Yeah, there you are. Okay.
My physique, I think is notable.
Yeah, so you did have to drop some weight to come down to classic. You had to drop sounds like about 10 pounds or more.
Yeah, I mean, and the prep is not that hard. I mean, it's just up season that you have more weight and stuff like that, but it goes away really fast.
Okay. So I saw on your Instagram, you went to the Redcon gym in Boca. You got to train with Kai Green. I don't know if it was more than one workout or how many times did you get to train with Kai and what was that like?
Yeah, we're gonna work every week.
Oh wow!
And we have about 3 workouts already. He kills me. I throw it out doing chest. Yeah. You know, but I started my prep, so and I love it. So he was very nice. He actually he offered that, you know, to be part of this prep, and you know, we're gonna be every week over there. They came to my gym and shoot some contests, and I mean, I'm probably gonna get some workouts with Kai. I mean, you're gonna see it in the Redcon one YouTube channel. There's I think there's 2 videos already there. Yeah,
I think there's a shoulder training and I want to say a back training, maybe.
Back training, yes.
Yeah. But what's it? Because I haven't seen him train in a long time. He used to train for like 2 to 3 hours. Is he still? Are the workouts 2 to 3 hours long? Jeez, wow. You must have to bring a snack or something.
No, you have to bring a respirator thing and the oxygen help it. I mean, when you say 2 3 hours training, it's intense. It's really intense. So you probably have to eat a lot before you go into the training, because now you're gonna. It's really hard, and he's so into it. I mean, he always been, obviously, but I don't think it changed a bit. His is intense.
Do you think he's going to compete again? What do you think?
To be honest, I thought so, but I think he's having the time of his life. He's having so much fun, and he's so free and stuff like that. So even if I ask and he told me no, and it looks like not very sure, I was like, I don't think so, because of the time that he's having. It's like he's having a good time. Yeah. And when you talk to him, and I met Kai years ago, and he's a completely different person. You know, he's having a good time. Yeah, so you don't see the pressure. At least I think that he's very happy with himself. I'm not saying that before he wasn't, but I think sometimes you just have a inner peace, right? And I feel that he have an inner peace, because when he was with Phil and stuff, it was like a pressure, and I mean, it was constantly, right? and involve drama and things like that, and then why you don't win and all this stuff. And it was a constant response for him, or at least a request for response and things like that. And he doesn't have that, but he still have the respect of the industry. We all know how who he is as a bodybuilder. He's showing more who he is as a person, which most people don't even know. They see a lot of Kai, but they don't know who Kai is really. Right. Which you know, and it's first of all, he's smarter than what you think. He's really smart. And another thing is that how he have emotional intelligence, very, very developed. So yeah, a good guy to be around this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just wish it's a selfish thing. Me and the fans, we just want him to compete because he's so good. He came so close to winning the Olympia. We all wanted to see him come back and get that. But I guess it's his life. You know, Kai can do whatever he wants. What makes him happy, and he does seem like he's at a good place in his life right now. So I guess he doesn't really need to. So let's talk. You just said you're in prep. You're already qualified for the Olympia. So what are you prepping for and why?
Yeah, what happened is, well, first of all, I'm trying to get this off season bigger than last season, right? Yeah. I want to get fuller when I train out for the show. Yeah, because I think that I couldn't get that fullness, and I don't want the need to put a lot of food in order to get full, because if you put the good quantity, at least amount of muscle fiber to your body once you trim, and it's good, right? And you don't have to eat that much to fill up your body. Your muscle look full even when it doesn't have a saturation of food. You don't have to get to that point. Yeah. You know, so I want to get to that. It's not something that difficult to do. It's just it's simple. Just train. You know, actually, when you train to maintain a weight, you have to control things, and it's more complicated. So at this point, I just wanted to gain weight that way. I wanted to train heavier than my legs, so I have to be heavier. Last year, I think that every session that I have legs, I was about not even 200 pounds, and I was training with John and Kamal, and they don't take weight off, right? So you have to put yourself, and my knees was suffering. You know, my back was suffering because I was pushing myself in that way, but I was light, and I wanted to get with this prep heavier and train actually, heavier too. Okay. So, and now what the other thing is that normally the top 5 qualify for the next year Olympia. Yeah. But it's not going to be the case, at least for the Classic, because what they have in mind is that, or at least in place right now, is that if there's less, if it's more than 25 shows, we must qualify. But it's less than 25 shows, we don't have to qualify. So we still don't know, and you know, it seems like it's not gonna be more than 25 shows. Right. Definitely for the year. I mean, for the qualification for the Olympia, you know, it's not the entire year after October, or actually a month before October, you don't qualify.
So would the top 3 still always qualify, no matter what?
No. Everybody. Oh. But in our case, there's 2 champions, so they don't have to qualify.
Right. But I thought at least top 3 should be qualified, you'd think. I mean, I thought it was top 5.
No. I mean, it was, and actually, it is for the other classes. But not in the case of Classic. Wow. Hey, look,
you got to requalify.
Yeah, because the IFBB, these are smart people running, so they know the Classic are good-looking guys. Yeah. Everybody want to see those faces.
That's beautiful physique.
It's like, let's sell those faces.
Yeah. Make you guys compete a little bit more. So right now you're not in prep right now, but you're just off season improving right now, but you might have
Yeah,
to.
it's off-season prep. I
Okay.
have an structured diet and everything in place. Yes.
So I was mixed.
I have to send my pictures, my weight, and everything. I had to check with Neil every Wednesday and Sunday. Yes, still.
Oh, okay. See, I had it wrong. I saw on your Instagram you started prep. I'm like, what's he prepping for? Why is he
Yeah,
competing?
but we don't know. So at least I'm into, the prep, the off-season prep, lean, my abs, everything is going down. My strain and my condition is already top, so I can push myself to, for example, 4 or 5 weeks of prep, like 6 weeks of prep, like just kind of be ready for anything that happens. I know you guys have to qualify, but at this moment we have to,
Right.
So like just be careful and not like something comes as a surprise.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about, it's the title of the article I'm going to write for MD, because I think you are underrated. And I think even I've underrated you at times, meaning I don't think I always remember, oh yeah, Alex, because you don't post a lot, you're not loud, you don't talk crap about anybody. And then you got like Blessing and Nick going back and forth. These two guys have made themselves more famous than the Olympia champions over the past couple months. Just because everyone's making videos with them and talking to them. You don't take part in that. You don't want to be part of the gossip and the shit talking and all that. But I wonder if that hurts you, because somebody like Blessing has never even competed and he's got millions and millions of fans and everyone's talking about him. Someone like you got this amazing track record. You've won all these shows. You've been in the Olympia and done well. But we do previews and sometimes we almost forget about you. And as good as you are, and it's not because of your physique is great. I wonder if it's just because you don't really put yourself out there it's all about social media now. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh man, it is what it is. My personality, and it's been the same personality. If I look myself since I was a kid, I always have a good relation with everybody.
Yeah.
So if it's not something popular, actually, I mean, you're not gonna be popular in the industry because you have good relations with everybody.
No.
You might do good business because that's very good. People trust me in the industry. The people that are in and leading the shows. I mean, at least the IVB or the MPC.
Yeah.
I think they trust me and they have respect for me because I've been behaved the way that I expect. And then the people that have companies and things like that I've been working with, they kind of trust me because I have that. But it's not popular in the mainstream, like for the popular public, right? Like I said, when I was a kid, you have in school groups of rockers, the rappers, the karate guys, the boxing guys, the wrestling guys, and the football guys, and the fighters guys,
Yeah.
And I'm white, I'm black, I'm Latino, so I was involved with everybody. I have a good relationship with everybody. And people looking at me like I'm a Latino or a little black Latino mix Latino, and I listen to rock. I mean, so I have a good relationship with everybody. I don't like to talk bad about anybody. I got the respect of the competitors. Because of that. I maybe I not have the respect, or at least respect from the fans. But I feel good that I have the respect from the 212 guys, and not that I feel that they told me. Actually, you say that you don't talk shit about anybody, and I have Brion telling me that. Brion telling me that. Well, I appreciate you don't talk shit to anybody, and I feel very, very happy that people know that I don't have anything negative to talk. Franklin, Logan Franklin.
Yeah.
It was a shoot of him. Actually, they some guy put me on the spot to make some comments, stuff like that. I have nothing to say about him negative.
Right.
But actually positive, because at the time that I met him, he's been a cool guy. So, and he actually mentioned the same thing, because I have nothing negative to say about him, and I'm not desperate for that kind of popularity.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very uncomfortable about it. And then there's some people that just challenge the other competitors. I don't have the needs of that kind of challenge because, I mean, like you said, Blessing and Nick are doing these things, but
Right.
they're not being in so many rodeos.
No.
So it's not the same thing. I mean, we've been in so many rodeos that you don't feel the same way. Now, if you have the following and you don't get into that, you're okay. But in my case, I don't have the following. I don't get into that anything. Yeah. So it did definitely affect me. I feel good that that doesn't interfere with the judges. The right. Judges actually see what is there. Then they don't see your popularity as most people think, because it wasn't that case. I was doing very well, very bad. I mean, right. That's you know. Yeah. But that's the case. It is what it is. I don't like to be in the drama or controversial. They said, well, these guys are not in drama and controversial, but they're into it probably sharing every single aspect of their life, and that's not my nature. Probably is that too, right? That I love to share with the fans and the people. Yes, but mostly what I post in social media was in my gym training and things like that. And it's hard for me to get very personal with,
you're staying true to yourself. You're not trying to be something that you're not. You're not trying to portray some character. So, good for you, Alex. Good for you. Because at the end of the day, when you're on stage, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter how many Instagram followers you have. Or if you said you're going to beat this guy, the judges they don't care. They're just looking at what's in front of them. None of that matters.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's big by himself, and I look, even, and that's another thing is in my position, sometimes you want to participate in something. But remember that I've been for a long time, even in the classic, I've been underdog, even when my record shows something different. Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to play 6, I'm going to play 7, and times that I place first, So people got me in that. If I get into that, I'm going to be fighting with a lot of people, yes.
Absolutely.
Good thing, Ron, good thing is that, I'm going to be fighting with a lot of people, but I'm going to beat them. Yeah. Because I've been beaten without talking for all these years, without talking.
Yeah, right. That's the actual sport. The actual sport takes place on the stage, not on Instagram or on these podcasts that we all do and stuff. So, yeah, I think you're doing just exactly the way, living your life and living your career exactly the way you should be. I'm glad you're not partaking in any of this negative talk, because that's, it's gossip and stuff. It's fun, it's interesting, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make me feel good when I'm listening to all that stuff. It's like, I don't want to hear guys put each other down and say, this guy, you suck, and I'm going to beat you. I don't like that. To me, that just doesn't feel good. That's not good sportsmanship.
No. And it's, for me, and I had a problem that I never have. I have there's some guys that I never talk, not even follow him or follow me, vice versa, right? Yeah. But I never cross with a real asshole or somebody that dislikes me in any show or in this industry. I really I don't like that guy. I thanks God, because I don't have that.
I've never heard anyone say anything bad about you, honestly, ever.
Oh, please. Oh, thank you.
No, so that's good. That's true, because you don't say anything bad about other people too. That's good. We should all be like that. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know when you're competing again, Alex, but congratulations on the last Olympia placing, 4th place in the world in a new division that you just started in 2019. It's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And you should be moving up. Let's see what happens in the next few months. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We are into it. Yeah, we're gonna make some fix of the mistakes last year. I think it's gonna be better. Yeah, definitely, it's gonna be better.
Guys, so follow Alex on Instagram at Fello. That's FELLO _ Cambronero. And you can also check out his newest training videos with Kai Green on the Redcon 1 YouTube channel. Some crazy stuff on there. Kai Green and Alex together. So yeah, thanks for the interview, Alex. Always good catching up with you. Where's the new
Always,
puppy? You
bro.
gonna show us a new puppy? Where's that dog?
Oh, the two of them.
Yeah, this guy's always got the cutest dogs. I want the dog. I want the new one on there. Look at that, adorable.
Hola.
What's her name?
This is Oreo.
Oreo.
That's a Papo.
Oh, Papo.
Papo and Oreo.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Cool.
Any
Man.
Cuban knows what Papo means.
Papo? I know
Papo.
Papi. I know Papi Chulo. What's Papo?
Papo.
Lo mismo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Papo y Papi, lo mismo, see?
Es lo mismo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time, Alex. Appreciate it. Wishing you the best of luck in this off season. Make some good improvements. I want to see you going up at the Olympia this year for sure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the support and always count on me and put me in part of your work. And yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anytime, Ron.
Okay. Everybody, thanks for watching Ronline Report with this man, Alex Cambronero. We'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, Alex. Have a good day.
No problem, bro. Take
Bye.
care.